Here I am in the scherzo, the third movement of the Beethoven C minor violin and piano sonata. Short little piece, movement. Well, I'm going to have to decide whether I'm going to play it on the beat or off the beat. It says allegro. I don't know. One reason I played the upper note, then I'm getting to play fewer notes. If you play just something mathematical, if you play from the auxiliary note, you always have an even number of notes if you play a Nachschlag, or even if you don't, because it's upper, lower, you always end up on the main note, which is where you tend to leave trills. So an even number of notes works out evenly. An extra note takes more time and more effort. So I can get by with 4 notes in this case, which is easier than 5 notes. So it depends on tempo. That's fine. Do I want... decide, do I want 4 or do I want third finger? Who knows? Bird chirps. I kind of like 4, 3, and 1. 4, 3, and 1. Subito piano. Jump padum, jump padum, jump padum, 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 padum. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. I think Beethoven's having a good time here. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. Whoops. And also offbeat accents. So an offbeat hemiola kind of. Ha, ha. Isn't that a surprise? Could repeat here, the second half has a repeat sign. First part does not, but I'm going to go on to the trio. I think the only thing that's doing me in here is that the chords change rapidly, and I simply have to know where they change so I can concentrate on having a wonderful time. Tuba melody. C major, G, C. Once again, I've misplaced aha, my hoo-ha. It's the technical term for it. 5-2, this is measure 55 at the end. I'm going 5 5-2. So I've been going 1-3-5-1, 5-2. Got to make sure I have a third finger in hand. No pun intended. 5-4-2. The end of the first ending, so I can get back to C major first inversion. So like that. And 1, 2. It's kind of surprising how it's not difficult, but it's difficult. It's not difficult in that it's not anything that's hard to do. It's just that it's just enough that the left hand and the right hand are out of phase in their intentions, and that both of them are just unpredictable enough that until I know it, I don't know it. It's not quite readable, in other words. Even though it's readable, you know what I mean? That it's readable, and that if I take my time and just savor the notes, I can get all the notes right. But it's not flowingly readable. I have no automatic affinity for it or identification with what it's doing or where it's going, because it's a little too whimsical. It's a little too unpredictable. A little too scherzo-like. It's a joke. So I need a better fingering in the left hand. I think just for consistency, to give it the right meat, and to give me something to think about, I'm going to try to play all the sforzandi with my thumb, no matter what fingers I had before. So 4-4-3-1, 3-2-1, 2-1, 2, 4. Even if I'm going 4-3-1, that'll give me the fifths at the bottom. So. So these accents are quite interesting. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Tricky devil. Interestingly here, the fingering that I wrote just before, in the note just before the first ending, doesn't work well for going to the second ending. It's one of those interesting places where, from a physical perspective, he should have put the first and second endings a little bit earlier so I could make that physical distinction. So I'm playing the same measure, in other words, the same notes, but I'm going to have an alternate fingering for my alternate situation. So I'm going to end up with 1-3-5 instead of turning to 1-2-3. So. I certainly need the 1-2-3. in measure 960, well, it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is the violin, and this is... Okay, so Beethoven or someone, I have these octaves, and someone has indicated for the left hand to play some of those octaves. I'm not sure if it's worth it just yet. Hysterical. Very funny. I've still got to work this out. If I were conceptually and maybe even physically, it's to my advantage to ignore the hand division. At the very least, if I want to respect the slur, I mean, I could always just respect it in intent and play what amounts to non-legato, but play with a legato sense of linkage. Or I can finger at least the top notes and link them. Which is probably what that'll give a little more identity to the 5 notes that are linked under a slur. And then the canon works better. To get it accurate, I have to be looking. For now, I have to look at my... because they're all white notes jumping around. Whoa, almost right. I've written a second finger here in measure 81, but I don't know how I got to it. I don't actually like it. I'll just put a 5th finger at the end. 5 2. I've done that before. Much smarter. So this is slightly bizarre, lots of fun, and I'll be fascinated to put it together. And last, I won't do this right now, but last will be the last movement. See you later.